Will there be another time skip in One Piece, and if so, when is it gonna happen? Well, if it's real, then I would have to argue that the time skip would have to happen very soon. And of course, that does mean that there are spoilers ahead. If you have not read up to chapter 1150, then scroll on. So obviously in this last chapter, Emu entered the field via Gunko. They've managed to change Dory, Bragi, and a ton of other giants into demons, and they are going after Yarul right now. But let's remember the Holy Knight's original goal coming to Elbaf. Their goal was to capture these kids and take them back to Marijwa. One of the most important kids here is Colin specifically, the son of Skopper Gaban. And of course, last chapter we saw Skopper Gaban take 3 arrows to the knee and fall into the underworld. Now, of course, they have set a new goal for Dory and Bragi to go take out Yarul, which does kind of throw a wrench in these plans. But what if somehow we are able to sever the connection that Emu has with Gunko, maybe potentially through her realizing that Brook might be her father or a father figure to her? Strong emotions may be able to stop this demonic possession that's going on currently. And if that were the case, that could potentially reverse all of the damage that Emu is currently doing by transforming all of these giants. If that were to happen, then I could very much see the Holy Knights deciding to turn tail and just run. Of course, heading back to Marijwa, potentially with Colin and other kids in hand still, and then that triggers our need to go back to Marijwa and honestly start the entire war that is looming over us. So back to the time skip portion of this. When we entered Elbaf, we were given a warning: do not overstay your welcome here. Adventurers, do not regret your lost time here. It seems to allude that time works differently in some capacity on Elbaf. And if that's the case, then that could easily set us up for a potential time skip. In chapter 1149, we saw that Skopper Gaban was able to injure one of the Holy Knights. But then, of course, after that, he got hurt by Gunko and fell down into the underworld. At this point in the story, Skopper Gaban is the only person we've seen have any knowledge onto how to possibly hurt these Holy Knights. And it's still not permanent, but at least he was able to do something to them. So we obviously need Skopper to teach our Straw Hat crew what he's doing to be able to hurt them. And if time is moving differently on Elbaf, then we might actually have the time to stay on Elbaf even if the Holy Knights leave for Marijwa. And if we use that time wisely, we could get a couple months worth of training to boost up the levels of all of our Straw Hats, so when we do head to Marijwa for that final war, we are a lot more prepared. Now, I'm not somebody to say that every single Straw Hat needs to become a powerhouse by the end of this story, but obviously with what we're seeing on Elbaf, our Straw Hats that aren't Luffy, Zoro, and potentially Sanji are completely and utterly unprepared for what's about to happen. So we would truly need some kind of moment to be able to boost these levels up so we are viable in the final fights that are to come. And I think Skopper Gaban is the prime suspect to train us. And again, if time is moving differently on Elbaf, that might give us a pocket of time that we could utilize to get a little stronger. I would argue that the time skip would probably just be a few months, nothing too crazy. And hopefully the way that would work is once they finish training, they leave Marijwa and it's only been maybe a couple days in real world time. This new chapter definitely put a few holes in this theory, but if you guys have anything to add to this, please let me know in the comments. Do you think there's going to be another time skip, or are we just full steam ahead to the end of this story?